Aloha mai kako, what is up everyone? How's it going? What is happening? How's your morning or afternoon or evening? What's going on? What's popping? First off, if you're new to this channel and it's literally your first video that you're seeing of me, my name is Hoku. I'm from the Big Island and I like to come on to my channel to hold space for self, but also for you guys as well. I'm a mom of 4, so oftentimes in the videos, if again you are new here, you're gonna hear my youngest son in the background. He doesn't quite go to school yet, so you definitely will hear toddler babble, but that's okay because that's part of life. That's my life. And so this is just time I get to sort of designate to connect with self and align with divine and take a break. I have to like force myself. I don't like to say that. No, I'm not forcing myself. I'm encouraging myself to take more breaks mentally, spiritually, and physically, because for anyone who's a parent knows, and especially a mother knows, that the job is very demanding and very rewarding. But at the end of long days, it can be exhausting because we're so used to giving energy that sometimes we don't stop and accept and receive the same or divine energy for ourselves, you know? Something I feel like is being spoken to me now is breath work. A lot of the times when we hold emotions that come up or are triggered throughout the day, no matter what emotions that are, but especially heavier ones, frustration, anger, jealousy, resentment, lust, greed, whatever weighs you down, puts the burdens on your shoulder and on your heart and on your spirit. You know, whatever weighs you down, those types of things, first off, need to be transmuted. Those things are breath stoppers in a sense. Like a lot of those times they especially anger and resentment and frustration, that it restricts your breath. You tend to hold your breath or like have shallower breaths, or you're just not getting enough oxygen. You're not allowing yourself to work at full capacity or full capability. So yeah, it's important to kind of come to a space, whatever that is for you, as long as it is peaceful, or as peaceful as it can be. I don't know what your situation is, but try to really reward yourself, encourage yourself to breathe. Inhale deep breaths, or as deep as you can. What we're doing is we're exercising our lungs, we're exercising our kino, our body, to open up to receive more light. And as I'm saying that, I'm looking ahead and I'm seeing this foliage in front of me. I'm seeing, I'm seeing some foliage in front of me that's just reaching to the sun. I feel like literally when we're planted and we come out of the ground and we search for the air, the elements, the rain, the sunshine is so necessary. And I'm feeling like I can see the smiles on these plants' faces. I can hear the songs, the vibrations, the dance, it's just beautiful energy. I might just put a clip in this video right here, but it's just extraordinary because it's symbolic of like the moments that you need the sun, and you need to recognize that as you receive the sun, you are the sun. As above, so below, as within, so without. And the light that we come from, the light that we soak up from the sun, was created by divine source. And so it's just a beautiful thing to see that before my eyes, but to recognize that we too, I am, you are, we are, just like the plants. They are life, we are life. They hold energy and they receive energy and they emit energy just as we do. It's all divine connection, and we deserve a time out to remember that. So I know that was kind of a long spiel, long little rant, or maybe sidebar, maybe main bar, I don't know. But I felt like I needed to say that because when I do my videos, if you haven't experienced my channel, I usually start off with the same kind of introduction. And I say, that I like to hold space for self, but for you guys as well. And that, this is a time I get to connect with self and align with divine. I mean that, but I also like to affirm, trust that you are being guided, protected, loved, held with more love and light from divine. I affirm these things. I affirm more patience, more prosperity, more compassion, more empathy, more healing and wellness and strength. Like I want to affirm these things and confirm them. When we receive, that's confirmation and openness to receive light. I don't know. I feel like I'm just going off on a tangent, but I know I'm not. I feel like Divine is telling me really stress on the importance of breath. Lifting the vibration. It's like we're a song. We're a love song. That's what we are created to be. But as you can see from the literal music industry, there's so much variations of music. And some tones and frequencies are heavy or shocking or jolting or just throws you off. So what song, once you receive, like, what are you receiving? Because if you can see what I'm seeing in front of me, like, I'm seeing a reception of light by these plants. The seeds that were planted, they rise up from the dirt, from the muck, from the soil, the aina, to touch the air and to feel and to accept and receive the sun and the rain and the elements. We are all a cycle and we work together. But like, what are you receiving for your love song, for your song? That lowness, it hits the heart space. A deep bass makes you feel like you're not in control of your heart, like your heart's vibrating out of your chest, or it feels like an implosion in a sense. You don't want to go hit those tones where it shatters your heart. Your heart space is all out of whack and out of alignment, and so you have a harder time with that darker, deeper, bassier tone. You have a harder time receiving love, receiving light, because you're traumatized, you're triggered by the things that you've been through, by the things that you've received in your environment that have weighed you down, the toxins, right? The pesticides that have been sprayed on you mentally, spiritually, physically, the foods that we eat, how it's weighing you down, what's burdening you. I'm looking at these beautiful, it's just like a compost area, but what grows out of the compost is just beautiful. It's so crazy. Like, I was only here a couple weeks ago and it was compost with a few, plants. But I'm like, wow, what grows out of compost? It thrives. I mean, obviously, for any gardeners or Hawai'i farmers, you know this already. But like, we come from all this tragedy and trash energy. But that shouldn't stop us from rising up and being this beautiful, bright, luscious, fruitful plant. Fruitful soul. But we have the choice to take what we've come from and what we've been through and the trash, the opala kind of stuff, the rotten stuff that we may have experienced in life. We have the choice on how to respond. And I feel like this message is definitely going to resonate for someone very specifically. Like, you're going to be like, girl, what the fuck? How you know? Because I feel for myself, like, I'm going to look back on this video and be like, bitch, take your own advice. Because I'm feeling that now. I'm feeling like somebody may not see this video until they're ready, or somebody is seeing this video and they're like, I did ask for the motherfucking straight up truth. Or I did ask for enlightenment on what is this energy I'm feeling. You're feeling the base. You're feeling the burdens. What you're doing in this present moment, or what you should be doing if you've been watching the last couple videos of mine, is understanding, accepting, surrendering to whatever it is that you've come from, that compost energy. Tragic, traumatized, trashy, dirty, rotten, whatever. And it might not be that bad, but it's like, for you neat freaks or OCD people whose house is always clean or whatever, like, nah, not me. You ain't talking about me. Maybe I am. What about the little microorganisms that you don't see? The layers of shit that might be on your counter that is like, oh no, it looks clean, but is it? You look clean, you look fine, you look healthy, but are you? There's always some motherfucking dirt somewhere. So unless you like hospital sterilize, bleach the shit out of everything, I mean, you always gonna find dirt, even in the so-called cleanest of spirits. And that's okay. You just might have to do a little bit of a deeper dive, a more in-depth study on self and soul. You might have to see, like, okay, wait a minute. All right, what are my issues? What has been going on? What has been my tune that I've been playing as I live and experience and project into my day-to-day life? What vibe am I holding? What space am I holding for self and for others? So this is a very reflective time. But again, as I surround myself with nature and I just see how the plants come alive in the mornings with that extra sunlight. And even on the mornings where there's rain, it's like there has to be a balance. Like yesterday, personally, I was feeling the rain, not gonna lie. And I shouldn't have to feel like I need to explain anything, but in the same sense, transparency. Transparency leads to healing. Like I see how I can see. I had to let my son have some of my kombucha. He was asking for that, but I don't know where I was, so we're just gonna move forward. Tap back in from that slight distraction, which is fine. But as I was talking to my son, I realized there was all of a sudden like all these namanu birds. These little birds that were coming and like bombing some of the plants over here because they're looking for food for worms and insects and stuff, and it's really plentiful. Picking the leaves off of certain plants, but I just noticed like a whole influx of them at one time, and I'm like, I'm feeling like the message is freedom. Freedom to fly, freedom to be uncaged. You have to grant yourself permission, you know? And wow, one literally flew right at me and then did a sharp right turn. Interesting. But anyway, mahalo kapo, mahalo kiakua, mahalo aumakua, mahalo na ali'io Hawai'i, mahalo makupuna, mahalo makua, mahalo na lehu lehu. Mahalo. Just giving thanks to all that surrounds, that is within and without, before and beyond us. Because it's beautiful and we are a part of it, and we have to remember we cannot just hold our breaths in frustration and in the depths of emotions, whatever it is that you're feeling and that you're going through and shifting through, whatever past muck, dirt, compost you have risen from. Remember, you are rising. There's a continual growth. Just because, like these trees, just because they reach 4 feet doesn't mean they're done growing. I mean, the sky's the limit. The new, the coconut trees and all of the different types of trees around here, they continue to grow, expand, and that's what we're doing. Our branches, allow your branches to bloom, to grow, to blossom, whatever the fuck the right word is. You know, I have the Hawai'i tree in front of me, and that one is pretty big, pretty tall, but it more like grows and creeps and intertwines and grows in a very unique way. It's like a big shrub, but it's like a tree-sized shrub. So, and it's very strong, the bark, used for a lot of things. Very fibrous. So I'm feeling connections, yeah? Your connection with self, your connection with the spirits around you that protect you, your aumakua, you know, watching for the whole Ailona, the signs, the symbolisms, the synchronicities. Being in the moment and not just being stuck on the things that trigger you, the dirt. Why do I have to grow from this? Like, these plants aren't questioning whether the fuck they're rooted, bro. Okay, this is the life we were born into. This is the soil that we were planted in. All right, so how the fuck we gonna get the best of that? Like, my soil ain't no motherfucking low. I do come from a royal line, but with that aside, your more immediate line is what affects you the most. At least in my opinion. So where you've come from in the last several generations is very critical. But just because you come from a certain environment doesn't mean you can't blossom and grow and bear fruit and shit. You know? Or the birds won't come and eat the berries or the fruits of your tree, your plant. And spread the seeds in more favorable conditions, more favorable soil. You don't just decide, well, I'm coming from trash, so I'm not gonna really amount to anything. I'm just gonna be this really struggling, tiny little, you know, toxic plant. And everything that you emit and project is negative. Man, and maybe I'm calling somebody out specifically, or maybe you're like, I don't know if I do that. Are you? Your surface is made look clean, but within, what's going on? There's a lot of places like on the show Hoarders that look fine from the outside, and they're like, oh, this is a really nice house. Wait, why are we here? And you go in the house and it's like,
what?
I don't know about this. What is this? Toxic environment. This freaking pig pen, trash dump, heap, whatever. That's the environment within. That's the clutter and the cluster and the trash energy, the upala energy that you hold within, but you try to keep up a good facade, wear a good mask. Always have a smile, always distract people by other things, but like, what the fuck is laying within your walls? Man, I feel like I can go on and be all over the place, but this is just parts of my mind. So this is where I feel the most comfortable to just kind of release whatever needs to be spoken. And since I ran my mouth for 17 minutes just to get a very specific point across of elevation, singing your song, allowing the notes to lift and become higher or more harmonious with the ears and not deep and bassy and shocking and tragic. We're lifting our spirits up. That was my main point. But let me, I don't think I have my Gaia cards, but I do have the guidebook. So I'm just gonna do what I sometimes do when I don't feel like going into the cards, and open up space for truth to come out as it is meant to. And I'll just flip open to whatever page Divine wants to lead us to. So let's see what the card of the day is for this energy that I've been feeling. Okay, this one is interesting. So maybe there's something on these. What card is this for, though? This is a long passage. Destiny. The page that I opened up to seemed very long. And I was like, which one is it for? For destiny. The destiny card is about your personal destiny, universal destiny, seeking answers. And that's what we're doing here. That's what I do in this space. I take a deep dive into truth that needs to be brought to light or revealed, no matter what it is, or how maybe minimal or insignificant or irrelevant it might seem to you. For another person, it may be like the little spark that needed to be ignited for them to put pieces together of their personal destiny. So, all right. This is purpose, quest, seeking answers. So the page that I opened up to is this one and this one. So I'm just gonna... Another common mistake is to believe that our destiny is intertwined with our career path. Maybe this is really speaking to someone in particular. Maybe you've been worried about, like, what the fuck am I meant to be doing? Where am I meant to be going? Who the fuck am I meant to be seen as? Because you know who you are, or you're getting to know who you are, but you don't know, like, how you're supposed to deliver yourself. Wow, this is interesting. Your destiny may have absolutely nothing to do with your choice of career. You may, in fact, have to walk a career path that is not one you love, but allows you to do what you love. So for some of you, you're like, am I supposed to resist the physical reality of this life? Am I supposed to resist this life that I've been planted in? Or am I meant for something more, something higher? You're questioning that. But right now, in the book, I'm hearing, like, sometimes you're going to have to sacrifice the complete connection and union and harmony of like, what you love and what you want to do, and knowing who you are and how you want to move in life, and being able to receive all the abundance. Like, you might have to take a little bit of break from that dream that's on your vision board. But in the meantime, you're still working towards accepting, all right, I have to do this. I have to work this job. I have to make ends meet in this way in order to stay above water, or to continue to push through. So that one day you get to a point where you are able to sit down, take a break, relax, and receive. At least that's what I'm hearing. It's a very interesting energy. I'm drawn to this passage. You can have multiple destinies. You may have found your destined vocation, job, whatever, but there might also be more to come. We are all connected, and the choices you make as you work to fulfill your destiny may influence others to do the same. It might also be your destiny to inspire others to seek their own. You might create other little destined moments that need to happen so somebody else's life can shift and evolve. So maybe you are put in uncomfortable positions, or maybe you're put in positions where you're like, why the fuck am I working this 9 to 5? Or why the fuck do I have to do this shit? I want to be able to be who I am and be a light soul, be a light worker and a truth seeker, and have things flow abundantly to me without having to conform to that conditioned workplace environment. But you are put exactly where you're meant to be, just like these plants grew from exactly where they were meant to grow from, this compost pile. And I want to clarify, the compost is obviously more organic, but I'm likening it to, you kind of throw your rubbish here and there. So that's why I was saying trash energy, because usually trash heaps, like in a city or in a place not conscious of showing aloha aina, or taking care of the land and doing their part to heal the earth again. Like, a lot of the times they just throw their rubbish wherever. Like Jersey, I remember living in Pennsylvania, and going from Jersey to New York was just like, ugh, very uncomfortable ride, because the stench was just unbearable at times coming through the vents, even though your windows are up, Anyway, I feel like I'm getting off track. Yeah, maybe that's it. With the job talk and like where you want to be, yet where you've got to be, where you're striving to be in a more spiritual sense, and then where you got to be in the physical sense. Maybe you feel like you're off track. Maybe you feel like you're lost. But that's the feeling that we need to accept, or to acknowledge and accept and transmute, because maybe we're put in uncomfortable spaces for other people to see the change that is being made within you. Like, yeah, you're lost, but there's other people lost too around you. And then they're going to be like, well, how are you surviving? Oh, wow, they got a good survival instinct. Huh. Oh, okay. That's how you do that. Maybe your mistakes and maybe your placement, even though you're like, I'm meant to be there. I'm meant to be a star, someone well known, or I'm just meant to be so divine. It's like, you are. You think the angels coming here on Earth are going on a vacation? I mean, who really wants to be on Earth with all the bullshit going on? If you were an angel, it's like, yeah, you're divine, but then you got to come down here to help, to assist, to lead, to guide, to soothe, you know? And yeah, you have angel energy. You are surrounded. You're brilliant. You're bright. You've grown from the muckiest muck kind of situations. But you have to remind yourself, there's a reason you're there, because you are an example. You are a gateway keeper. You are a steward of the land. You are a guide. You have a purpose. And wherever you are placed, trust divine will lead the way. Will send the signs, the synchronicities, the aumakua or spirit animals, the ancestors, the angels. That divine source energy will send whatever vibes and frequencies are necessary to lift you up and to continue to push you, scoot you along on your journey, creating your song. And ultimately, we want to lift ourselves out of the darker tones and crescendo into the higher notes, captivating notes, wondrous, amazing, breathtaking notes. But the kind that's good, not the kind that stops your breath, but that joins your breath, that gives you more lung capacity to breathe. If that makes sense, it's like phenomenal. Phenomenal healing. And that's what we're motherfucking doing. So this video has been long enough. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. It's probably gonna sound loopy loony to certain people. If it does, then maybe you're just not meant to hear it. But if for some reason it resonates with you, let me know. Leave me a comment down below, or go ahead and like this video. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you're compelled to. I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but again, this is just my space to connect with self and align with divine. So did we pull a card? Yeah, we pulled the card. And actually, let me get a physical card right before I sign off. Let us get a Earth Alchemy card, because it's quicker. All right, let me shuffle this up real quick. And then we'll pull one card and close it out. We'll send you along your merry way into the sunshine of the day. Don't burden yourselves with skies of gray. Healing, healing as you may. Wow, first out. Secret garden. Sending you forth into the beautiful, amazing, wondrous, phenomenal energy of that secret garden you have planted behind those doors that hide within. You know, you're turning that hoard with a nice facade into a secret garden with beautiful fragrances and fruits and vegetables and just luscious plants. This is your sacred space. This is literally a card about your sacred space. Touching on that earth and water energy. So this message is most likely going to resonate if you are heavy earth or water sign. So this is about cultivating your space, your inner beauty, your self-care. That's what we're doing. That is the ultimate message for today. And I hope that you receive this message if it resonates, and that you have a beautiful day or evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. I'll see you in my next video. Love, light, and always aloha.